Okay, hey folks, Professor Johnson here. I'm gonna move my microphone a little bit closer. All right, so we are going to dive into textile evaluation activity number 2, and for this one, we are going to look at 2 fabrics. Okay, my hair looks crazy, so I'm not in the video. Y'all just gonna see my hands today. Okay, so we're gonna compare two different fibers or 2 different fabrics in this activity. Okay, but before we actually get to the fibers that we're going to review, I want you to dig into a couple things that are in your swatch book. I had to put some post-it notes in here. I want you to look at a couple things that are in your swatch book. On page 25, we have a couple of this page is all about stretch fabric. So all the fabrics have elastane in it, which is just the generic name for Lycra. Lycra is actually a trademark name. And there's a couple of silk ones in here, and I just want you to get some touch and feel on these fabrics. So the last 2 fabrics that are on here, there's a silk seersucker with elastane, and if you know what a seersucker fabric is, we have one in our cotton. It traditionally doesn't look like this. It is a weave that has a stripe in it. But this one is a knit version of a seersucker. So if you see the word seersucker, you're like, that's not what seersucker looks like. It does in the knit version. Okay, so this is a knit version of a seersucker, not necessarily the traditional woven, but this has a great hand and feel on it. And then also there is a silk jersey with elastane, which is also a knit version in there too. So I wanted you to just touch and feel those because they feel great. Okay. Then when you get over to page, or maybe flip a couple pages, I also want you to look at page number 37, and we go to 37. These are all, excuse me, these are all traditional satin weaves with in different fabrications. So I'm going to say we go from best to from natural to synthetic. I'm not going to say from best to worst, but best to worst in terms of hand and cost. So there is a silk satin. I want you to touch and feel. I want you to feel the satins as they in their different iterations. So there's a viscose satin, which is basically just a rayon. There's an acetate satin, which this is the satin that actually the viscose and the acetate are what you're going to encounter the most. The viscose is more likely to be used as an actual garment, and the acetate maybe used as a lining, maybe used as a garment, but not a better garment. In my air quotes, not a better garment. And then at the bottom of the page, you have a polyester satin. So you definitely will see a polyester satin. A polyester satin and a viscose satin are more likely to be used as outer garments, and then this acetate as a lining. Okay, but for the purpose of this assignment, we actually are going to end up a few pages over. We are on silk starts at page 63. There are some samples that are on page I'm upside down, page 55, but for the purpose of this assignment, we're going to use samples that are on page 67. So we are going to use a silk Dupioni yarn dye, which is this guy. We are going to take the silk twill, which is the very last one on this page, and then we are going to, go to page 69, and we're going to take the silk Noil jersey. Ooh, I think I put mine out. Here we go. Jersey. Ooh, oh, here it is. I'm like, I pulled stuff out of mine, and I didn't know if I put it back. So we're going to be using these. I put things in backwards, but we're going to be using these 3. So I take my stuff out because I have the Noil jersey where the velvet's supposed to be. That's why my stuff is off. Okay, so we're going to take that out. I'm going to put the velvet back where it belongs. All right, so we're going to be using these 3 fabrics from the silk section, and then we're going to go over to linen, and linen starts on page 62. Fabrics we're going to be using are on page 65. We're going to do the linen lightweight, the cotton and linen chambray, and then the natural. So this guy and this. And that's the medium weight. Ooh, did I pull mine? I'm missing a fabric. I'm missing a fabric, y'all. Here's a fabric missing. Actually, it's this. That's the chambray. Okay, so these are the four fabrics that we're going. Sorry, the six fabrics that we're going to be using here. I'm going to go to the end here. So silks and linens. Okay, and then you're just going to follow the assignment activities to determine what the twist is, what kind of yarn, staple or filament, describe the hand, abrasion resistance, all those good things. And then you're going to use the fabric performance sheet to evaluate, the wrinkle resistance of the garment. So we're literally just going to see how it pops back out. So the wrinkle resistance and any other characteristics that you can identify in here. And then you're also going to talk about what finishing process could be used. So what kind of printing or finishes that you think are on these samples, okay? And then you're going to do a little compare and contrast between the linens and the silks. And finally, you will give us some in uses for those fabrics. So using your internet skills, you are going to find a garment that is a representation of one of these fabrics in silk and one of these fabrics in linen. And again, remember, there's no wrong answer, okay? I want to see the application of knowledge that you have from the textbook material, so this and the textbook reading, the lecture, and just how you are filtering that through your own experiences with these fabric swatches. Okay, so remember, there's no wrong answer. I want your opinion, and if your opinion differs than what I think the lecture material will say, I will explain to you why. Okay, all right. So you know what to do. Dive on in. Thanks.